An Uncommon Family, Family Portrait, Book 1, by Christa Polkinhorn. Part 1, Searching for Mother, Chapter 1. Carla licked the crispy cone, trying to catch the sliding droplets before they hit the ground. The raspberry ice cream was a dark purple, her favorite color. She wrinkled her nose as she caught another whiff of exhaust from the busy street along the Limmat River in the city of Zurich. It was August and hot in Switzerland. The 6-year-old girl scanned the scenery in front of her with dreamy eyes. A canoe was sliding by a tourist boat on the river. People with funny-looking sun hats and dark glasses sat on the benches of the boat. Along the river on the other side, the built-together stone houses looked like a row of uneven, different-colored teeth, gray, yellow, white, and some with a tint of orange. Behind the houses, on top of the hill, the linden trees at the park shimmered in their pale green foliage, and a curtain of dark green ivy hid part of the gray granite wall. Carla took another lick from her ice cream cone, then turned around and peered through the window of the art shop, where her aunt was picking up 2 framed pictures. When she looked back at the sidewalk, her breath caught. "Mama?" she whispered. She saw the woman only from behind, but the bounce in her step, the long reddish blonde hair flowing down her back, swaying left and right, the tall, slender figure, it must be her mother. She tossed the rest of the ice cream into the trash can, got up, and ran after the woman. "Mama!" she called as the woman got ready to cross the street. The light turned from blinking red to solid red, just as the woman reached the other side. Carla rushed after her, barely aware of the honking around her, or of the shrill warning bell of the blue and white streetcar. She heard someone yell at her, but by then she had arrived at the other side. The woman was walking along the river toward the lake of Zurich. "Mama, wait!" Carla bumped into someone. A man stepped aside. "Watch it, kiddo." "Mama!" The woman finally turned around and looked back, scanning the people behind her, then walked on. Carla stopped, dumbfounded. It was the face of a stranger. A wave of despair washed over her. Not believing that she could have been so wrong, she started to run again. She didn't see the slight indentation in the pavement. As she fell, she barely noticed the searing pain in her knees. The disappointment hurt more. She covered her face with her hands and sobbed. Mama would have helped her. Mama would have picked her up, hugged her, and even sang a little tune to make her feel better. But her mother was gone. "Are you hurt, honey?" the dark voice said. Carla felt a hand on her back. "Come on, let me see." A pair of strong arms lifted her up. She looked into a face with a gray-white beard and kind blue eyes below thick tufts of eyebrows. The man was tall and sturdy. He had wildish white hair. He reminded her of St. Nicholas. But it was summer, and St. Nicholas only appeared in December. "Are you here alone?" he asked. "Where's your mother?" The question brought a new flood of tears. "I thought it was Mama," Carla managed to say, her chest heaving with sobs. "Carla, what happened? Why did you run away?" Aunt Anna came rushing towards her, clutching her purse and a large package. "I thought I'd lost you. Jesus, what's happened to your knees?" She bent down, put the package on the concrete, and examined Carla's legs. Brushing a strand of wavy brown hair out of her face, she peered at the man with her gray-blue eyes. "What's going on here?" "I just happened to walk by when she fell," he explained. "She said something about looking for her mother. Are you her mother?" Anna shook her head. "No, I'm her aunt. Her mother died half a year ago." "I'm so sorry." The old man gently touched Carla's cheek. "But she thought she saw her mother." Anna sighed. She still hasn't accepted the truth. She turned to Carla. "Tell me what happened, sweetie?" Carla told her between sobs that a woman had walked by who looked exactly like her mama. "But you know that's not possible, don't you?" And Anna hugged her. Carla leaned her face against Anna's chest and poured her sorrow into her sweater. It was soft, but didn't smell like her mama's. Anna waited for her to calm down. "We have to take care of your knees. There's a pharmacy right over there. I'm sure they have something to clean the wound and some bandages. May I?" St. Nicholas gave Anna an inquiring look. Anna nodded, and the man lifted Carla up. His thick hair tickled her cheek. Carla wrinkled her nose. He gave off a faint whiff of smoke, which reminded her of Anna's wood stove. It felt a little comforting. At the pharmacy, a friendly lady took care of Carla's knees. She wiped them clean, trying not to hurt Carla, who flinched and gave an occasional sob. "Sorry, honey, but we don't want it to get infected." While the woman bandaged Carla's legs, Anna unwrapped the package she had been carrying. She handed Carla one of the pictures and held the other one up for her to see. "Don't they look beautiful?" Carla nodded with a weak smile. They did look nice. She barely recognized them again behind the glass and surrounded by a fine wooden frame. One of them showed a woman sitting on a chair and holding a little girl in her arm. The woman had long reddish-brown hair, and the girl's hair was black. They were sitting in front of a house. The stones in the wall had an irregular shape. They looked a little bit like cobblestones. It had taken Carla a while to make them look right. The other picture showed a tree with large purple and cream-colored blossoms. It was the chestnut tree in front of Carla's old home. She had painted the pictures with her favorite pastel pens. "They're gorgeous," St. Nicholas said in his deep voice. "Who painted those?" "Carla did," Aunt Anna said. St. Nicholas stared at her, then at the pictures, then at Carla. "How old is she?" "6, Carla said, brushing the last tears off her face. Anna handed her a Kleenex. "And she painted those by herself? Without help?" The man squinted as he scanned the pictures. The wrinkles on his forehead and around his eyes deepened. He truly did look like St. Nicholas. "Yes," Aunt Anna said. "This child is very talented. Does she get any instruction? I'm actually looking for a teacher for her. She loves to draw and paint. If it was up to her, she'd do it all day long. And it seems to help her with, the loss." "Amazing." St. Nicholas shook his head and continued to scan the pictures. "Well, I happen to be a painter myself. I also teach a few children." He looked at Carla and Anna with a serious face. "I'd love to have her as a student." "I'll think about it. That would be great," Aunt Anna said. "Why don't you check me out?" The man pulled his wallet from his back pocket, opened it, and took out a small gray card. "Here is my address and phone number, and on the back a few references." He handed Anna the card. "Whatever you decide to do, though, you don't want a talent like this to go to waste." Aunt Anna studied the card. "Very interesting, Mr. Bergman." "Call me Jonas," the man said. "Anna," Carla's aunt said, as the two shook hands. "You're not St. Nicholas?" Carla asked, surprised. Aunt Anna and the man laughed. "No, I'm sorry. You think I look like him?" He brushed through his wavy white hair. Carla nodded. "But you wouldn't come in summer, would you?" She looked down at her neatly wrapped knees. The talk of drawing and painting had pulled her out of her deep misery. "Are you going to teach me?" The man smiled at her. "You talk this over with your aunt, all right?" Then he glanced at his watch. "Oops, I guess I missed my appointment." "I'm so sorry," Anna said. "We caused you all this trouble." "Don't worry, no problem at all." He bent down and put a hand on Carla's shoulder. "And Carla, I know how much it hurts. I lost my dear wife a few years ago. We were together for over 20 years. I still miss her. But I can promise you, things will get better with time." Carla took a deep breath and nodded. She had heard the words many times before. Maya lost her mother, too. Maya is a friend of hers, a girl from Croatia, Anna explained. Her mother died during the war.